Good afternoon, everybody. Sorry about that. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to season one, episode two of Small Talk Podcast with hosts Anandi and Chris. Yours truly, Chris. Looking forward to today's guest. Her name is Gayle Smith, and she's the founder of the Guyanese Fit Chick business she opened up in 2015. So, looking forward to having Gayle on today. And before we bring Gayle on, I'm going to bring on my co-host Anandi. Good afternoon, Anandi.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good. Hi, Chris. Nice to see you.
Good. What did you think of the opening video created by Ryan?
Oh, yes. Big up to Ryan. We know him from Rogers TV. It seems as though every episode from on now will have some sort of connection to Rogers TV. It looks really good, and I love the music. Excellent. Yeah, good show.
Yeah, and I thought it suited our show perfectly. So, and I'm just glad it worked today because the last couple of podcast shows I've done, I've had some issues with StreamYard, but so far, fingers crossed, everything's good so far. But yeah, I'm gonna bring our guest on, Gayle Smith, and if you want to introduce her to our audience, that would be great as well. Good afternoon, Gayle. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Hi. I'm not gonna call you Gail. I'm gonna call you, hey, welcome, Guyanese Fit Chicken House. I always say that you are really you are a Guyanese fit chick, and those of us that kind of know you in another capacity know you as Gayle Smith. But really, you are Guyanese fit chick.
Yes,
Welcome.
thank you, thank
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us today. So, so much to unpack. Gail, you are a woman of myriad talents. So I want you to do like a lot of the talking today. But let's just start off. Let our listeners and our viewers out there know a little bit about you. So the first question really is like, tell us about yourself, but that is such a huge question. So I'm going to modify that into, if you had an elevator pitch, what would be in that pitch? Tell us about yourself.
Okay, so my name is Gayle Smith, and I'm AKA Guyanese Kitchen. So I've been doing fitness for 32 years, meaning I started young, in the business. And so therefore, I created throughout all the experiences and all the fitness gyms I've done, all the shenanigans I got into fitness, I decided to stay on to what my parents are. So my parents are Caribbean. My dad is Guyanese, and I found that my pulling of passion and excitement of what I have toward onto the whole Guyanese side. So I called myself Guyanese chick. They kept on singing, ringing. And I said, you know what? I think this is a catch on thing. Everybody likes soca, everybody likes Afro beats, reggae music. Why not do fitness and getting just the Caribbean people to move?
I love
So I said, move. I said, move. I said, move. So I said, just move. And I said, just move. I said, no, this doesn't sound right. So I said, someone said, why one? Why one? Just move. And I said, oh my gosh, that's it. That's it. Right? It's just it.
nice, and that is a fantastic pitch. It's Guan move, right? Really, you don't.
Go on.
That's the elevator pitch, just the
Doesn't
one
help.
floor.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So, but I was a gymnast. So from when I was about 5 to about 20, I did gymnastics. And I wanted to go to the Olympics, but the Olympics said, no, not you yet. But in the process of training as a gymnast, I had one coach, a little YMCA, that's what my mom said for the YMCA. I can't do it. And she got so mad at me. Like I've never seen an adult get so mad at me. She says, you never say can't. It doesn't exist. It's not a word, and it doesn't exist. I don't know what she's saying. But as a gymnast, you need to hear those kinds of words. As an athlete, you need to hear those kinds of words. As being successful in any kind of whether it's education, sports, business, whatever you want to do in life, that word doesn't exist. So
Mm.
I said, Detroit is is short but effective. One Christmas, my children and I were watching a movie. I can't remember the exact movie, what it's called. But in this movie, this rapper said, "Can't stop, won't stop, and it can't stop, won't stop." And I used to go, "Oh my God, I love the ring, I love the ring." Actually, it was Eddie Murphy's brother was in the movie. Like,
Mm.
why is he like, but I go, it catch on to me so good. It's okay, girl. Can't stop, won't stop, because like now our things are insane. Pray that everybody all over the world. I go, but as a gymnast, it goes back to when your coach as an adult told you that can't is not a word. And I stuck to it. So every time I teach my fitness classes, I say it. Because fitness in a whole, at all ages, are it's hard to stay motivated, right? And I believe that through success, you have to meet just one good motivator, right? So that's my pitch.
Hey, good stuff, Gail. Are you able to turn your audio up just a little bit? Actually, that's actually better. There's no more of that screeching sound.
Okay. So
That's
it must
actually
be me.
perfect. That's
Yeah?
perfect. Perfect.
Okay.
That's great. That is great. Don't
Okay.
worry.
Okay.
We're not going to make you do the first question over again, but that's great. So go ahead, and Andy. I think we've lost her audio now.
Yes.
Yeah, you know what? I thought I was giving you guys feedback, so I turned my mic off. So we're good. Thank you for letting me know. It's like a Zoom call. It's on our Zoom bingo. I was muted. My bad. Anyway,
No
Chris,
worries.
you're up next, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to ask you kind of two-part questions. Again, how did you come up with your business? Why did you decide to start up Guyanese Fit Check? And this other question I wanted to ask you as well. What were some of the challenges of starting up your own business, and how challenging was it during the pandemic for those couple years?
Okay. So I started off Guyanese Fit Chick because during the pandemic, I wouldn't even say during the pandemic, this is before the pandemic, I found that when I would see social media or people speak about Guyana, um, my family, uh, people that I associate with, my community, I found that we as people, um, we have a lot of knowledge, we have a lot of education, but I just found that the wellness section in Guyana um, needed to be lifted a bit more. People needed to be educated more. Um, so I decided to uh, educate the community. I wanted to educate the community because I've been in the business, and fitness. Not necessarily say I didn't have my own business at the time. I was learning from other businesses, right? So that's how I started with that one. Now you asked me the second question, but you have to repeat that one because I don't remember.
Yes, I will get that to you. Just give me 1 second. I have so many graphics on here, but that second part of the question again is obviously how you started up your business, why you decided to start it up. But yeah, here's the second part of the question. That's why I write stuff down. By the way, because I'm old, I'm 50 years old, so my memory's starting to go. My long-term memory is good, but my short-term memory's not as good. But what were some of the challenges of starting up your own business? And again, how challenging was it during the pandemic for those 2 years?
Okay, so challenging and opening up a business, I had tons of barriers. I had financial barriers. I had being a woman of color, being having barriers, and being a Black woman, there was tons of barriers. Um, I thank God for the spot that I had right? But it wasn't in a good situation. It wasn't in a good spot because it was male dominated. Every business around me was male dominated. So I felt that when I would rise, because I had all women coming to me, it just seemed to be a little bit of an issue. And I didn't understand because I felt that as a woman supporting women, women lift up households, women lift up families. So I didn't understand why the male dominant would come and crash me down when I'm lifting up your wives, when I'm lifting up mothers. So I had a lot of barriers with that. Being a woman of color, it was, I felt at the time, and I'm going to be honest, society wasn't ready for something that I was trying to show.
Mm.
Right. So what I'm trying to say is I went through a lot of racism, but I laughed it off because they were being silly. Right. Um, Coming from the Caribbean, you just do what you need to do. You push and you strive. You're going to better yourself because you know there's lots of opportunities here, and you just grab and take, right? And you learn. I learned very fast. I learned very quick. So I didn't understand where if I came from a big facility fitness gym, I lift up your I'm lifting up your business, but when I come to opening up mine, I'm crushed. I go, this doesn't make any sense. And I learned from it. I learned from it. I pushed through it. So I said I wasn't going to stop because I remember that's my phrase is can't stop, won't stop. So I never stopped. All right. Now, the barrier when it came to having a fitness studio during COVID, it was very difficult, but I'm glad for the opportunity because on social media, that's where you grow. That's where all the followers would come. That's where the social platforms you could build up easy, right? So I had the barrier as in bad audio, sometimes bad videos, but I put it out anyway. I said, just go because people are just watching. Just go, just do it. Can't stop, won't stop. Just do it, just do it. And I pushed and I pushed. So I lifted up on social media, but my in person crashed. And I'm like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? I didn't know what to do. So I said, nah, you know what's going to change? It's going to change. So I still pushed on the social media and I went on into my own platform and I did workouts every day. I said, someone's going to watch it. All right. So I'd go on my small group. So I had a Facebook group and I would hide the videos every day. I'd push 15-minute workouts. The most I would go with half an hour workouts before you go to work and push and push and push. I said, okay, now I'm ready to go on my personal platform. I went onto my personal platform and I pushed. And I said, they're going to watch, you're going to watch, you're going to watch, you're going to watch. Not understanding that it was Guyanese followers watching. And it just lifted and I kept on going. I kept on going and I kept on going. Can't stop, won't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. And I said, hey, you're getting a lot of comments. Everybody's doing these workouts. Men and women, they're just doing the workouts. They don't want to stop. So I continued and I continued. And I said, okay, there's going to be a point now where are people still going to want online? So I said, you know what? Now the world is open and now you need to show and share your knowledge and share your experience and all the shenanigans that I got into. Share it because you're not the only one. So that's what I wanted to press is that you're not the only one going through this. All of a sudden, you were stopped and now you're going to rise up. And through fitness, I believe that it's not a curable, it's a preventive myth. You're preventing things. You're preventing sadness. You're preventing different health diseases that could rise up. You're preventing loneliness. You're preventing a whole heap of mental health issues that people think that all this medication that you might need through fitness, I believe that it can change a difference for a lot of people. And I found that I needed my Caribbean community to change and to think that motivation, that how can I say it? Motivation, positive thinking, positive speaking to yourself, positive affirmations, that it can change. You can change. You can change anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, one thing I wanted to ask you, and then we'll let Anandi do some talking for a while. Did you have any mentor or mentors when you were starting your business? And did you have a strong support system for the days where it was kind of difficult for you at the beginning?
I did have a support system. I did. I had my family. I had my husband. I had my children. So yes, the support system was there for sure. Right. So some days when I didn't want to get out of bed, especially like say for instance, when it comes to running a fitness business, when I did it, I did everything. I didn't hire nobody. I didn't hire anybody for marketing. I didn't hire anybody to teach my classes. I did everything. So with that, that's a lot of physical and mental stress, right? Because in teaching all those classes, you have to be fit, right? So who's going to push you to get up in the morning to do it, right? So it wasn't about the money per se. It was about, it was women, right? So basically when I'm saying women, it was Muslim women that I attracted to come to the studio. And in doing that, I kind of understood some life changes that needed to be met from them, modifications that needed to be met from them, a safe environment for them to work in. I had to think outside of the box because I'm not Muslim. I'm Caribbean. Right? I come from a strict Caribbean home. My mom is from Trinidad. My dad is from Guyana, strict. So I respect the ladies. I respected my customers that came to me. So my mom and my dad helped me a lot. She cleaned the studio. My husband renovated the studio. I painted the studio. The kids would come in to open up the studio. If I had events, they would help me run it. So I really thank God for that one, because that was difficult. But then you asked me a second question, and I should write it down next time.
I think that second question was, I guess, how challenging it was during the pandemic. Oh, wait, the mentor, and then the support system. Sorry about that.
Oh, the mentor. Okay. So when I first started my career in teaching fitness, I was living in Hamilton. That's where I started. And there was a lady, she owned a women's fitness studio. I was like, geez, I go, and she was 40. She was 40 and I was 20. And she said, Gayle, I like what you do. You know, you got this energy. At the time I was like, I'm just doing my thing. I thought I was young and had the biggest ego. My ego was so big because I had so many women in the class. But I used to see her do her thing. And I said, how is this lady? I said, I've been to her house. I see how she lives. She's so humble, but how did she do it? And I said, one day, I want to be just like her. But then I have to change the way that my words are, not be just like her, built what she built times two. How could I do it? So I was at 20, I wanted my own studio already. I already had that mindset, but I didn't know how to do it. All right.
Mm.
So basically at the time, it just wasn't my time. All right. It wasn't my time. But she was a big mentor for me. I learned a lot. I learned a lot from her. Yeah.
Nice.
You're up, and Andy, you can do
Oh, yeah.
a
So,
little bit of talking now. I'll zip it.
oh no, no worries. Gayle, it's. I mean, you and I
Great
have
stuff.
met before, and just sort of the theme of our podcast is about how a small talk leads to big ideas and to relationships as well. So, Chris was interested in hearing about how you and I met, and I think I'll start it off by saying that. You had mentioned before that when you were in your business and you had your challenges and you're doing things online, you were doing stuff on social media. And I know that, Gayle, because I was seeing your stuff. You are like a
Didn't even know.
beast. You are a
Didn't
beast.
even know.
Yeah, I was.
Trust me. I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't
So
know.
anyway, so I saw your stuff and I liked it. And there's a group on Facebook that like it's a Black KW collective, and you were posting quite frequently in there. And I was clicking there. So I don't know how you found me, because you're the one that reached out to me actually about 2 months ago. How did you find me? Can you remember? Or was that too long ago?
No. I remember. So I'll tell you a small little thing that you probably didn't even know, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
So just say, yeah. So I'm bringing it up, right? So when I was in my 20s, I used to sing for you guys.
Oh,
Right. When I don't know, am I allowed to say names on here?
give me initials first. Go ahead. I don't see why not.
Go ahead.
C.
I don't know. CC, go ahead.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, that's the initials.
C period.
Huh. Huh. I can't think. But anyway, go ahead. I think the story is more important than the person, but go ahead. You use your discretion as you see fit. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, when in my 20s, I used to come up. I used to live in Hamilton, and they used to have a lot of social functions and stuff, and I used to sing. So they used to ask me to sing all the time. So from there, I did that in my 20s, doing it for the Caribbean Association. And then my kids would do something. I think they used to have in Waterloo, they used to, I think, rent a place out maybe. And you guys used to have annual Christmas and Easter special events in Waterloo. And my kids used to go there. And so then I thought about it and I said, I backed away. And I said, Gayle, actually, this is how it really happened, because someone planted a seed for me and the seed didn't make any sense. So the seed was, I went to New York to go do some fitness as Guyanese Fit Chick. I'm trying to rep up Guyanese Fit Chick down there, right? And a fella that I was supposed to go to his class, I couldn't go. And I was so upset because I got real sick. But he said to me, this is a seed that he planted. He said, I'm going down to Canada to do a Black History event. I said, but why is he all the way from New York, Brooklyn, coming all the way to Canada to do a Black History Month event? It didn't make any sense. I said, Gayle, I just went through the social media, Caribbean Association. I said, Gayle, Black History Month is coming up. Promote what you've been trying to do, but you can't do this movement by yourself. This is not a movement. You can't do this by yourself. You need the community. And who would be the community would be associations that associate with your culture. So it kind of makes sense that you should pick up the phone or find them on social media and say, look, I am Guyanese Fit Chick and I offer this promoting because we were on the same page.
Yes. And it
So
was
that's how it
perfect. And
started.
it was perfect timing. When your email came, we were trying
You
to
see
get
how I'm talking
presenters.
nice now?
Yeah. And you're like, for something in the future. And I'm like, there ain't no future. Is right now. We need people for February 5th. So you and I had a Zoom call. I got to know. I had, and it's really good that you had sort of greased the wheels from before, because I was familiar with your brand, Gayle, because I was seeing it in the Black KW collective group. So when you reached out to me, you were not a stranger. I didn't have to say, well, who is this woman? No, you were familiar to me. I liked what I saw. And I said, oh my goodness, Guyanese Fit Chick. So it was an easy yes to say, yes, please be involved with the Black History Month event. So to that mister out there who planted that seed, thank you. Thank you. I'm so grateful. So that's how Gayle and I met online, and then in person. She came to our event. So I just wanted to kind of bring this out to prove to our listeners today that reach out, take that first step. Don't be afraid. You never know where it's going to lead, right? Yeah. And
Never
now,
take no for an answer.
Yeah, and here we are today, right?
Yeah.
Here we are today. Anyway, so just the follow up. I just wanted to kind of tease that story. And now I know how come we met. I know how the universe colluded for us to meet, and I'm so happy it happened that way. All right. So what was really attractive to me in your brand was can't stop, won't stop. And you told us a bit about it in the introduction, but I'm going to ask you it again because the mic was kind of being kind of silly. So I'm going to ask you again. I think this is perfect because for me, this is 100% Guyanese Fit Chick. What led you to your can't stop, won't stop philosophy?
I've faced tons of barriers through life. And I feel in order for me to fulfill this dream that I have, it's the biggest dream, right? Like I dream big, that I have to, it's a can't stop, won't stop for me. If I don't do it, God won't let me rest. That's what's happened.
And you said you saw it in a movie. You said that you kind of had the idea of it, but the words came from a movie.
Yes. So I was sitting in my couch with children and we're watching, if I could find
Let's be like Bring It On or something. Who knows?
I have to find the title. But it was Eddie Murphy's brother was a rapper.
Yes.
And he
Chris
used to say,
Murphy?
can't stop one. Yes, something. Yeah, he go, can't stop, won't stop. And he'd be in the mall, it's a can't stop, won't stop. And the can't stop, won't stop. I was like, what? And I love the ring. So I say to my kids, can't stop, won't stop. I'd be doing push-ups. Can't stop, won't stop. I'd be doing crunches. Can't stop, won't stop. They're like, you can't use that. I said, yes, I can. It's universal. There's no copyright on it. It's just a phrase. And if you keep on saying it, right, you think it.
Yes.
So the words that you use in daily life come true. So if you say that you're going to fall, you will surely fall. But if you tell yourself can't stop, won't stop, you won't stop.
Actually, that's a great philosophy, and you should market that on T-shirts, and that's great for myself as well. Seriously, that's a marketing thing right there.
Already done it.
She already did that long time, Chris. She's selling T-shirts everywhere.
I think that's a great philosophy.
It's wonderful.
It's great for anybody, especially if they're starting a new career or trying to build a business as well.
Yes.
What's in the shoulder there? I see can't stop, won't stop is there. And then on the shoulder, what's that?
This is the Guyanese Fit Chick logo.
Lovely. Nice. It's all yours.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful. Yeah. Chris, I think you had some questions about, do we want to talk about the business or do we want to get into some fitness tips, Chris? We're here for the free advice as well. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true too. I'm gonna lead that into my next question.
Okay.
What do you enjoy the most about your business, Guyanese Fit Chick, since you opened it in 2015? And can you also tell us, Gail, why fitness, nutrition, and mental health are so very important these days?
That's two questions. We're going to ease her up. Just
Yeah.
focus on
One.
the one
We'll do
question
one.
here,
We'll
and
do
it's
one.
two different
We'll do
topics.
one.
You just
So
see my face?
I'll ask the fitness question, but just what do you enjoy most about your business as
Business.
Guyanese Fit Chick since you opened up in 2015?
I like people send me private messages, and one message will be, Gail, I thank you so much for your energy. You have a lot of energy, and I don't complain.
Hmm.
Right? One would be, thank you so much. I thought that I would have to work out for an hour or so, where I was doing these 15-minute workouts and they were becoming effective. I thank you so much for helping me start. So basically, I love it because I'm changing people's lives without me even knowing it. Right? Um, and it makes me feel good. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel good that that experience that I'm trying to pass on to people, um, it's helping people. It's helping people's lives. So
Yeah.
that makes me feel good.
Yeah. Notes of appreciation are so powerful, aren't they, Gail? And I
Yes.
feel they're wonderful for the giver because there's the gratitude, and the receiver knows that their efforts are not in vain. So yeah, I'm so glad people are showing their appreciation to you. That must give you fuel to keep going.
Yes. Yes. It's that push, right? Because sometimes I'd be like, oh, everybody's all about the views and the followers. And I'm like, it could be for you, but for me, it's just that one person, right?
And I was gonna say too, there's so much negativity in the world, and it's just nice when people give you positive feedback and tell you that you're making a difference in their lives. It makes you feel good,
Yes.
makes them feel good, and we need more of that as a society, in my opinion.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. Yes. I do agree. And
Eh,
then your second question
We're
was,
gonna leave that for Anandi because we're
Oh,
partners. No, we're partners, so hey, we
all right.
50-50. But hey, what I was gonna say too, something else I was gonna say, and I should have wrote it down, but we'll leave the next question for my wonderful
Oh,
co-host.
okay. So we're going to shift gears a little bit here, and your forte is fitness. So our
yes.
question for you today is: tell us why fitness, nutrition, and the connection to mental health. Why is this important these days? All days. Tell us why fitness, nutrition, and mental health are so important these days.
Well, people would say it's these days, and actually it's been since time, right?
Okay.
But I find in these days, people, it's actually opened up now that, since the pandemic, there's a lot of people, a lot of stuff had happened to them and they didn't know how to deal with it. So because you didn't know how to deal with it, right? There's certain things that would happen to you, like sadness, you have loneliness, right? Anxiety, right? And that impacted in people the way people eat, that impacted in the way people had lived, right? So through fitness, a lot of people online just like, guess what? Come follow me online, right? If you follow me online, I'll lift up your endorphins. Lifting up endorphins, right, can change the way that how you deal with anxiety. It deals with how you do with the anxiety attack. Um, Fitness to me is a center. It's a center core of everything around you, right? It gives you the whole piece of your wellness. So that's what wellness to me means: total aroundness, right? Many hormones could change when you're doing your fitness. Fitness could be many things. You could do a hardcore boot camp. You can do some yoga. You could do some swimming. You could do some walking. Just keeping active. All right. Because the body needs that. The body needs circulation. The body needs to move. It doesn't like to stay in one spot. So that's what pandemic did. We stay in one spot. You can't go out. Can't go to the park. You can't go outside. So when that happens, oh my goodness, well, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And you start getting anxious. You start eating a lot of food. And the food that we have now has tons of sugar. So the ones that you would say, right, the ones that say, oh, low fat and whatever. So yes, it has low fat, but it has high sodium.
Mhm.
And sodium
Salt
is
and sugar.
water. So your body goes, and we're in North America. So, you know, it's cold outside. I want to go outside. It's cold. You know, some people can't deal with the cold, and that's okay. Right. But environmental changes your mental health. Right.
And
So
sleep too. Sleep.
yeah. So sleep is very important. Right. High cortisol levels. Again. Right. So fitness for me, it's a wellness total body, right? Whole package. So that's what I feel.
And I have to admit too, I had lost weight before the pandemic, and then during the pandemic, I was focused on my podcast show, sitting down as much, and I wasn't walking as much. So I find personally for myself, weight battle the last 20 years has been an issue with me, and I find that I can lose the weight. The hard part for me is keeping it off, because once you lose it, then you tend to go back. I tend to go back to bad habits again, and then the weight comes back on again.
But if you're saying it's the last 20 years, that's hormonal.
You hearing that, Chris? She said it's hormonal.
Yes.
She's
Okay.
giving you specific advice.
Okay.
That's hormonal. That's hormonal. Because you know, okay, so it's like this. So in speaking to the speakers, I also have a background in health. So I'm a nurse who has experienced mental health. I've experienced the fitness, and I've experienced the nutrition. And so women go through menopause. So we lose all these hormones. You have less estrogen, right? And it affects women in that 20-year gap that he's saying. So men have it too. Men have low testosterone. Because if it's the last 20 years or something, I feel there's a niche that, oh, you can keep it, you can lose all this weight, but you're having a hard time managing.
Because the problem with me, part of the problem with me as well, is when I get stressed out. Some people, when they get stressed out, they tend to turn to alcohol. I tend to turn to sweets, and that's one thing. I have made progress. I've given up a lot of ice cream, hot chocolate. I haven't had chocolate and ice cream in 5 years. And then, but what happens is you give up certain stuff, you end up substituting for something else. So for me, it's just it's a battle for me. And I kind of right now, my goal is to lose weight again. And I just need to get back on better nutrition and get back to doing walking as well. At least 1 or 1.5 hours a daily of walking as well. Because that's good to keep yourself moving. Because sometimes I spend so much time prepping my podcast shows on here that you don't move. And you got to move and keep moving and stuff like that. But for me, the nutrition, and the other big thing is sleep. My sleep is not the greatest, so that's something I have to work on.
Well, the thing is now you know. So now you have to say, I know what I'm saying. So then you just have to do it.
Yeah.
The mindset.
So you're speaking the words, right? Now you need to change the attitude.
Absolutely. And then I need to cut down on sugar and the salt too. The salt, I think I'm okay on. It's stuff with sugar in it, because you're right, Gayle. There's so many products that have so much either sugar or sodium in it.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that, Gail. I think Chris has has a question for you. Like we kind of gave you a glimpse into our Chris's daily life there. So I think Chris has a question. Go ahead. You can do the next question, Chris.
Yeah, the hard part, like I said, the hard part for me is just cutting down on sugar and salt and also pasta too. So you're right. I absolutely know what I have to do. It's changing your mindset. I think the mindset is the hardest part of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that's why you have daily affirmations, right? I find that if you start off in the morning positive, all right, some people start with prayers, some people start with affirmations, some people start with positive videos. I feel that the moment that you step out of your bed, that can change your attitude throughout the day. And when your attitude is changed in a positive way, you will eat positive things because you would want more energy, right? So, for instance, if someone has a job at a desk and that's all they're doing on the desk and that's all they're doing is eating, you would tend to eat sugar. You're tending to eat sugar because this here, the computer, whatever, is your audience. This is your workstation. So, say for instance that you were writing a paragraph and you made a mistake and how you were typing and you would have to type it back. You get stressed out. Oh my goodness, that's the mistake that you're making at work. Where other person, who is a construction worker, their mistake would be they measured wrong, right? Or they have to go from one distance to the next distance, right? And they're being stressed out because they're on a time effective. They would eat sugar. So my thing is going back to leaving the bed, leaving the room with a positive attitude. You will pack positive food. You will prep your food, right? So that's why everybody says you do meal preps, right? So you're prepping your food for the week. So you would start on a Sunday because technically, if you look at a calendar, the first day of the week is Sunday and the week ends on a Saturday. So you prep your food because this is how it's going to be. I'm not going to eat out
That's
because I
something I
don't
got to
need.
work on. I got to cut
I'm not,
out on eating out.
I'm
I
not
am
going to
taking a
eat out.
That's true. I am taking a monthly cooking class now. I'm
Oh,
learning
nice.
how to cook. I made chili the other day. I made Irish beef stew. So I'm learning to try to cook for myself more at home instead of eating out as much. And what you just said there about waking up in the morning, I am not Mr. Happy in the morning. So maybe that's something else I
Aw.
have to work on. That I'm usually kind of grumpy. It's like, yeah. So that's something I need to work on as well, Gail.
Yeah, yeah. You have to ask yourself why. Why are you grumpy in the morning? Because technically, God woke you up. So why you grumpy? You should be like, thank you.
Absolutely.
You know?
And Andy,
Yeah. I'd be like, I wake up.
Do you have anything to follow up on that?
Yeah, I do. I just
Yeah.
really want to know. To me, I look up to you, Gail, and I see your positive outlook and your lifestyle and your fitness. So I want to know what is a day look like for you? Like you're running Guyanese Fit Check. You alluded to the fact that you're a nurse. What is daily life like running Guyanese Fit Check and being and I know you're a mom in there as well. What does a typical day look like for you? Or is no day typical?
You
I
know
don't know. You can
what?
say that too.
No day is the
Okay.
same. I take things with a grain of salt and I use my time wisely
Yeah.
because when I was running the studio and then I was doing my nursing career at the same time, that was mad crazy. So I don't want to go back to how I was feeling like that because sometimes when you're in a busy schedule, it's not healthy for you. Mentally and physically, it's not healthy for you. So you have to turn back and look and say, okay, I learned from this. So moving for this way here, I use my time wisely that when I do things, it's not stressful for me, right? So basically, what I would do is I would do my nursing shifts. I do 12-hour shifts. And literally, I'd say, you know what? Yes, you're a woman who can wear many hats, but I find that if just do my one thing, my one skill at that time, do it and do it proper. Because I do bedside nursing. So in bedside nursing, I'm taking care of very sick critical people, right? So focus on that.
Exactly.
Right? Focus on that. When I take my breaks, take your break, right? Your break is there to calm you down, right? This is a time where I use my prayer. I pray a lot. Like sometimes the whole entire day I will pray, right? Because when you're dealing with sick people, you're dealing with souls, right? So I can feel positive and negative energy. So I have to keep positive, right? So when I'm done my shift, I'm done at 12. That's it. No more nursing. Guyanese fit chick, straight through. I'll be talking to people on Texas. I'll be doing videos. I'm reaching out to the communities. I'm getting ready for events. I'm getting ready for the merch and my children. Okay, positive attitude. Okay, because there's different levels, in my children. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Who needs what from who more? Right. And so that's how I would wear my hats in the timekeeping. Right.
Right.
So I learned from time management is very important to keep.
How do you start your day and end your day?
Perfect question.
Okay, I start my day.
We want all the shortcuts, Gayle.
Is this business wise or is this life wise? Are you asking?
Life. Is it for Gayle?
For me?
For Gayle. Well, when you wake up in the morning, are you Guyanese fit chick or are you Gayle when you wake up in the morning?
I'm Guyanese fit chick.
Okay, so when Guyanese fit chick wakes up in the morning, what is the first thing she does?
The first thing I do is pray.
Excellent.
I really do.
Speaking of that, I have a viewer on, her name's Sandra Murray, one of my biggest backers. She just mentioned Sandra Murray, one of the biggest supporters, really good. She's such a positive person. She just wrote, prayer is a vital part of emotional and spiritual wellness. Well said, Sandra.
Yes.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, are you Guyanese fit chick or are you Gayle?
So honestly, this is how I've how the word be. This is how I feel who I am. I'm Guyanese fit chick through and through.
24/7. Yep.
I have to be Guyanese fit chick through and through because I believe what I promote. Right.
And that's so important. That's very important.
Yeah, I really believe what I promote, right? Gayle Smith, of course it's me. Of course it's me, right? But I just find that if you want to be successful on who you want to be, right? You can't wear all these different hats, right? It gets confusing.
Be yourself.
It gets very confusing. So that is why I am Guyanese fit chick through and through.
Nice. And what does Guyanese fit chick do? What is her nighttime routine look like? Maybe there's some good tips in there for us.
My night routine, honestly, I don't have a night routine.
Okay.
Because I do so many different things. Sometimes I'll be like, okay, you know what? Because for working out, it depends on the time of nighttime. Because sometimes I'll work out at the gym and sometimes I'll work out at home. And I found that me doing the two different things can get exhausting. So I could work out at the gym in the morning time, right? And if I'm off my day off and come back work out at nighttime, it's kind of like, Gayle, I'm not 20 anymore. I'm 51.
Hey, I'll be 51 in June.
And I just turned 50. So
No,
you look like you're 30. Both of you look 30. Both look 30.
Right? My bones, right? My bones. I got to take care of my bones. I got to take care of my heart. So I do work out at home during the evening time, right? But sometimes that's because I'm shooting my videos, right? I do spend some time on social media, but because social media has become such a thing, I actually cut off a time where I don't even look at anything. No texts, no nothing. I'm just completely off. I turn my phone off on mute and I watch some videos. movie videos,
Mhm, mhm.
and then just relax.
Nice. Love it.
Just
Absolutely love it.
relax.
Good
Right?
tips. Good tips for everyone.
Yeah.
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 Are you guys still okay for a few more minutes, a few more questions? Is that okay?
I have to jump off it too, Chris, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Oh, we'll wrap it up before 2 o'clock. But hey, I'm really enjoying this episode today. And again, and Andy, thank you so much for bringing on the Guyanese Fit Chat. And like I said, right now I'm trying to lose weight. I want to lose 30 pounds again. And Gayle, we've only known each other for a couple weeks now, and I already like you. I think you're a good person, and
Aww.
it's nice to be around positive people. Honestly, positive people really make a difference.
It does. Your surrounding is so important. I learned this in my 20s. You have 5. These are all your friends. Where am I? Where's my hand? Me, myself, and I, God, and Jesus.
Great advice. Great advice. And that leads to my next question for you. And this applies to me as well. Any advice for those who are watching or listening to this episode today that are wanting to lose, shrink weight, which is like myself, and become fit and have better mental health? What is the best advice you could give to everybody, or including myself?
Keep
Yeah.
it simple.
How do you get started too? Keep it simple. Where do you start?
Keep it simple, because there's so many different programs out there. There's so many people selling this and that, right? Keep it simple, right? Start off, honestly, a workout a week. Start off one. So how is it? You have seven days in a week to start off. Let's do one workout. And you're going to plan it. And you're going to write it down. So you're going to write your goals down. So starting off, don't even think about the weight. Don't even think about the scale. Don't even think about, oh my goodness, by the time spring comes, I'm going to fit into this outfit. You're going to write down your goal. I'm going to say, here's my name. I am this old. What is my goal? Give yourself one simple goal. Don't make the goals huge. I want to not lose how many pounds. Because as soon as you put a number on...
Which I've done.
Yeah, when you put a number on something, now you're measuring something. So if you have to measure something and it's about 30 pounds, that means you're going to be on a scale every day or every week.
That's me.
So then what do you think is going to happen? I'm sitting on a scale. Okay, just say for instance, oh my goodness, I'm 150 pounds and I want to lose 130 pounds. The motion of this here in your brain is, oh my goodness, I want to do this. I want to do this. And you're going to stress yourself out. And you haven't even started yet.
I think I'm going to have to hire you as a fitness trainer, because that's some great advice right there. Because I'm probably doing a lot of the things I shouldn't be doing, as you're just mentioning here. So
there's too much material out there. You can go on to Google. You can talk to Google. You could go read books. You can go read all this kind of stuff. It all says the same thing, but the problem is with the human mind, we can't take too much information. There's too much information, and sometimes the information that you read for some places that you think is correct, it's correct, but it's way too much. So then that's how you start off something. And then also too is when you tell people that you're starting something, that's the worst thing ever. Never tell anybody nothing. Just do it.
Oh, I guess I've already broken that rule. I've already told you and Anandi. So, oops, I broke that rule.
Well, it's only because of your podcast, but what, right? So keep it simple. Less information is more. Write down your goal. Write down your goal.
My goal, yeah. My goal around fitness and let's say body and health and whatnot is over the pandemic. Like I had lost weight before the pandemic, and like Chris, it's been creeping back up. And my goal is not to lose back a certain number. My goal is I'm not buying any more clothes. like I got to fit into the clothes I have, and that's why I'm being mindful of my nutrition and my fitness and all that. Just that's how I'm going about it. And I only weigh once a month just to keep myself accountable. I keep it
True.
simple. I try to keep it as simple as possible. Yeah.
I have way
And
too many clothes, and you're right. You and Andy, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you guys off there, but yeah, you're right. Sometimes when you put on weight, you end up buying more clothes or bigger sizes, and the bigger size clothes mask your weight gain. I can speak by experience, so I would like to get into smaller clothes sizes and smaller jeans again as well.
well, then that's your goal. So instead of saying 30 pounds, which is a lot of weight, that's a lot of weight. If you see like 30 pounds, so if this here is 10 pounds, imagine what 30 pounds is if you actually look at it in a mass of fat. That's
And
a
maybe
lot
that's
of
why,
weight.
and maybe that's why I haven't been successful long term and losing weight.
Yes.
Just I'm not doing the right things to do it. To keep it
Yes.
off. To keep it off.
To keep it off. It's always maintaining. So, you have a brand new car, right? You
Yes.
have the brand new car. I would say, it's straight off a lot. By the time 6 months, you got to do oil change and all that kind of stuff and blah, blah, blah. That's
Regular maintenance.
maintenance. It's,
Same with the
it's,
body.
it's the same as the body. But the problem is that with the car, you could ditch the car and get a new car.
With the body,
With the,
unfortunately, you can't ditch the body and get a new body.
with the body now, there's a
You're
lot
stuck
of
with it.
things that go wrong, and then unfortunately you get sick, and then
Yes.
you have to repair it. So to repair the body, now you're showing scars. Got to cut you open,
Mm.
and you don't want that. A car you can cut open, but this here you don't want this.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And no, great advice. And we got just two quick questions to wrap this up. And Andy, I'll let you
Oh
do
yeah,
this
I
quick
get
one.
the fun question. So
Yes, yes.
I know you're busy, very, very busy, Gail. But tell us, what do you like to do to relax? What are your hobbies? Like music? You get
I
to go
like
on vacation. Do you have a favorite restaurant? I just threw a lot at you. Do you have a favorite hobby, Gail?
so I like to sing,
Uh,
right? So that is one of my hobbies is I'm singing. I actually like to go to like how family entertainment places. So I like to go to like trampoline world. I'd be bouncing, doing flips. I like to bowl.
do you flip
Right.
5 or
when
10.
do you
5 or
flip when
10.
you bowl? Like when you get them all, get all 10 pins
I
down or whatever.
can't roll. I can't
Oh,
roll
oh,
properly. My
oh.
fingers get caught.
Oh, okay. But you said you like to do the trampoline and do flips, and then did you say you like to bowl or no? Did I mishear?
Yes, I did say I like to bowl.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. I'm just saying maybe if you get them all down, that you do a flip. No, okay.
No, I just the bowling, it's not quite the same because back in the day, Canada didn't have holes in the bowl. That's an American thing. So when I go over to America, I'm holding the ball. So when you come to Canada, you do like this, like you hold the ball. So now the bowling alley has holes in the ball. And I'm like, my figure is either it's too big or too small. And the heavy ball I bowl, I never knock. I said, this is a trick here. the, the floor is not, the lane is not flat, it's crooked. They do that on purpose.
Yes, it's a conspiracy, obviously. But you enjoy it though. You love the challenge of it, it sounds like.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I like to get out. I like to see people, right? I like to dance. I dance.
You should. You're
I
very good at it.
dance,
Yes.
right? And I do like to travel. So where I've been traveling, I like America, right?
What's your favorite city and what state?
Honestly, Atlanta.
Mm.
Ironically, my show's now going to be on a radio station in Atlanta, Georgia.
Nice.
Yes. So, and hopefully me and Andy, hopefully one day we'll have this show on a radio station as well, and I'm going to start working on that.
Yeah, we're trying to go international, Gayle, like you.
International.
International. Yes. And big up. And any favorite restaurant? I know you're in the KW Cambridge area. Any of your favorite restaurants you want to big up and give them a shout out? Or are you a cooking kind of which one?
Freshie.
Oh, Freshie. Okay.
Yes.
And why Freshie?
Because it's nutritious. Right?
Where's it located? Sorry.
So there's one in Cambridge.
It's a chain, Chris.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're all over.
Yeah.
There must be some in where you are, Chris. You're in Guelph, so there must be some there. Yeah.
In Guelph, yes. I don't know about Guelph, but there's one in Cambridge. Where is that one over? It's off of Hesperler Road.
Yes.
It's right across from Fuzion Fitness. I think it's right across from there. Yeah. And then in Kitchener, I don't know where there's one in Kitchener.
Yeah.
But I like it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
When I'm on the road and we're looking for breakfast, I rather go to Freshies because they have this thing that's like a green eggs and ham, and I think it's like scrambled eggs and kale. That's when I go to Pearson as well, and I have to have breakfast.
Yes.
If I can find a Freshie, that's where I go. So excellent choice.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Definitely. And then we're going to wrap this up, Gayle. I could speak to you for a couple hours, but I know you have to probably, I know you probably have to get going, and I know Anandi has to go too. But I was going to ask you, the last question is, where can my audience that is watching or listening to this episode today follow you on social media and also your website and the hours of your business as well? What's the best way of people contacting you as well?
Okay, so hours of operation, I'm open all the time. So basically, I don't have a physical location at this present time, but because I'm online, people text me all the time and I respond sometimes within the minute to a couple of hours. I'm always available. On social media, I'm everywhere on the platform. So I'm on Facebook at Guyanese Fit Chick. Instagram is Guyanese Fit Chick. YouTube is Guyanese Fit Chick. Website is GuyaneseFitChick.com. And the only one that I had problems with was TikTok, Guyanese Fit Chick with a double K.
I will look.
Somebody beat you back.
I will look. No,
I had to redo my account.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I'll have to look you up on TikTok as well, because this 50-year-old guy is on TikTok as well, and it's been a great tool to promote my podcast and my guests on there as well.
Oh, that's great.
So again, I want to say, Gayle, thank you so much for being our great guest today on episode 2 of Small Talk Podcast. And if you can give me a little bit of time this afternoon, I will have this podcast downloaded to all our audio platforms, and I will send you a link to it. But again, I really, on behalf of Anandi and myself, want to say thank you for coming on, and thank you for sharing your story and your advice about nutrition and fitness and everything.
Yes, Gayle. Thank you so much, Gayle. From one Caribbean sister to another, thank you for coming on episode 2. It's early days in this podcast, and we're booking such fantastic guests. And thank you for coming with your energy and your message. Just love it. Like I said, Caribbean love, my darling.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
And we'll definitely keep in touch with you, Gayle. And my weight battle, I'll definitely contact you. Maybe you can help me out a little bit as well.
No problem.
Okay, well, thank you so much. I hope you have a great rest of the day, and we'll send you a copy of this episode shortly this afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gayle.
Goodbye.
Bye. All right, and Andy, we'll wrap this up, but final thoughts on our show today with Gayle Smith.
This is just that shot of energy that I needed today. It's coming up to the end of Black History Month, and it's been a very, very busy month for us in this household and this family. Lots going on, and fitness kind of fell to the bottom of things. And even knowing that Gayle was coming on, I've been more attentive. If I can't, it was a bad week for the gym because of the bad weather, but I've been doing home workouts, and I feel, I can just feel I'm getting back energy. It's weird. You spend all this energy working out, but it does energize you too. So that's my final thought, that just do it. Don't stop. Won't stop. Don't stop. Just do it.
That's good advice. And for me, I wanna feel healthier. I want to be healthier, and I want to have more energy, and I want to feel better about myself. Because, like I said, I put on some weight during the pandemic, and now it's like my clothes are fitting a little tighter, and it's like I rather have them looser fitting. So this is something. This is something that we all have to battle with in our lives. And for me, I do want to beat this, and I think I will. But hey, Anandi, I want to say thank you so much. I know you're going to get going at 2:00, so I want to say thank you so much for being the co-host today for episode 2. And before I let you go, our next Small Talk podcast shows with Anandi and myself will be Friday, March 3rd at 1 p.m. Eastern with special guest Marianne Mead Ward. She is the mayor of Burlington, their 29th mayor in their history. And we will be live streamed on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, LinkedIn, and of course, the Small Talk Podcast Facebook page as well. Quick thoughts on having the mayor of Burlington on our show this Friday at 1:00.
I'm really excited. I'm also I believe that Marianne has a local connection to the KW Cambridge area, so I'd be really interested in exploring that as well. I'm looking forward to chatting with her and having a bit of small talk with her next week.
And besides small talk, it really is a small world. Just sometimes, especially with me going into media, how many people I know other people in markets, and it really, the internet really does shrink the world down, and it is really a small world. And I really enjoyed doing the Small Talk podcast with you again today, and Anandi, and look forward to our next episode, episode 3, this Friday at 1:00.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks, Chris, for everything you do. Really happy with how things are playing out. It's a great outlet for creativity, and we're reaching so many people. Thank you for the work that you do.
Definitely. And when I let you go in a second, I'm just going to play a couple-minute clip of Gayle just to show the audience what she's all about. And this afternoon, I will download the audio version and send you a copy as well. Again, thank you so much, Anandi, for coming on. And we'll definitely look forward to seeing you Friday at 1:00 with Mayor Mead Ward.
All right. Bye, Chris.
Bye. Okay, guys, before I wrap up this Small Talk podcast episode 2, I'm just going to show you guys a little bit of video clip of Gayle Smith from her YouTube channel. It's about, we'll give it about 3 minutes long.
This is your girl, Tiny Fit Chick with a live Just Move Spin and Up workout. So for this workout here, as you see, I'm sitting on my bike. That's all you're going to need. And your energy. In this workout here, we're going into different levels. We're coming into level 1, beginner, relaxed, learning to move, and then you're going to punch it up right into a level that will give you that burst of energy to burn those calories. All right. Let's start with a warm-up. Hey. Bring your arms up. Come on. Go. Okay. Hands forward. Come on. Hey. You got it. Come on. Well done. Woo. Come on. Keep it going. Come on. Hey. Yes. Keep it going. Come on. Well done. Bring your arms up. Come on. Hey. Let's go. Come on. Crisscross. Ha. Hey. Well done. Stand up. Come on. Hey. Keep it going. Come on. Bring it down. Well done. From the top. Bring it up. Come on. More now. Come on. Boom. Well done. Come on. Hup. Do it again. Come on. Hey. Woo. Double it up. Come on. Hey. Keep it going. Come on. Stand up. Come on. Woo.
All right, guys, that clip was courtesy of the Guyanese Fit Chick YouTube channel. Please subscribe to her channel and please follow her on social media as well. Guys, I'm just going to bring on our website again, GuyaneseFitChick.com, and you guys can also follow Gayle on Facebook and at Guyanese Fit Chick on Facebook, and also on Instagram at Guyanese Fit Chick, and same with YouTube as well. And again, I want to say thank you so much to Gayle Smith for coming on season 1, episode 2 of the Small Talk podcast show with your co-host Anandi, Carol Woolery, and yours truly, Chris Palme, as well. And guys, before I wrap this up, again, our next Small Talk podcast show with guest Anandi and myself, Chris Palme, will be Friday, March 3rd at 1 p.m. Eastern again, with special guest Mayor Marion Mead Ward, the 29th mayor of the city of Burlington, Ontario. It'll be live streamed on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, LinkedIn, and of course, the Small Talk podcast Facebook page as well. And I want to say thank you to everybody watching this live stream today, again on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. And also I want to say thank you to everybody who are going to listen to this episode on all our audio platforms. And Small Talk, the Small Talk podcast show is on audio platforms such as iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Spotify, Anchor FM, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, LinkedIn, Radio Public, and wherever podcasts are available on audio platforms as well. And before, guys, we wrap this up, live with CDP Sports Talk, my weekly sports entertainment talk show and hosted by yours truly, is now going to be on weeknights at 8 p.m. Eastern on radio station WQEE 99.1 FM, The Key, home of Southern sports and talk and the heartbeat of Atlanta. And my first show is going to be 8 o'clock Monday night as well. And I'm going to try to work and get the Small Talk podcast on radio as well. But again, I want to say thank you to everybody for watching and listening to this episode. Thank you to my great co-host Anandi, and for the Guyanese Fit Chick, Gayle Smith, for coming on. I hope everybody has a wonderful afternoon, wonderful weekend, and we'll see you guys next Friday, March 3rd at 1 o'clock with Mayor Marion Mead Ward, the mayor of Burlington, for coming on our show. Have a great afternoon, everybody, and we'll see you Friday, March 3rd at 1 o'clock.